Hey, this is Randy at Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we're going to talk about the actual cost for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 70-year-old male. Now, first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website, and we've got a quoter here. Enter your state. We're licensed in all 50 states. Enter the coverage amount. You can check out any price you want. It's going to show you the actual quoter that we use to help people with, and you can check out multiple companies. So the first thing you need to be aware of if you're looking for insurance and you're thinking about $25,000 for a 70-year-old male is that going to be enough coverage for what your needs, whether that be burial or cremation. So the average cost of a cremation in the United States right now is between $1,000 to $2,000. Now that's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, right? So obviously, if you have an existing $25,000 policy, you got more than enough. Stop watching the video, right? You're well taken care of. If you're going to have some sort of a celebration of life or remembrance ceremony, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500 with that cremation. Again, if you got $25,000, you have more than enough. But if you're looking for brand new coverage, what we would typically recommend is somewhere maybe between kind of $5,000, $7,500, $10,000. Just depending on whether you're going to have that service or just the basic cremation. And one thing we tell people not to do is don't overinsure. If you don't have a policy and you're a 70-year-old male, we would recommend you probably stay away from like $25,000 worth of coverage. The reason is it's going to be more expensive. And most people that we work with age 70 are on a fixed or limited income. And, the kind of first and most important rule of any type of final expense coverage, burial insurance, life insurance, is have it in place. And you're better off having a $10,000 policy in place than a no $1,000 policy if you're going to have some sort of a burial. So again, cremation, typically we'd be looking around to $5,000, maybe $7,500, or max $10,000 as a rule for a 70-year-old male. Now, if you're going to get buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. I can assure you, it won't be a fancy one, but if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they'll take care of it. It's not like they're going to let that money walk on down the road to their competitor. So if money's an issue, if things are really tight, get that $10,000 right now. It takes care of the bulk of the cost of your policy, and you can always add more coverage later, right? Don't worry about that. We can always help you add more coverage later. But if you've got an existing $25,000 policy, again, quit watching the video. You got plenty for your burial. But if you need a brand new plan, probably somewhere between 10 to 15 to 20,000. Because as a 70-year-old male, we're hoping you live to like 75 and then 80, maybe 85. And we know things get more expensive as time goes on. But again, just most important thing is have a policy. Maybe you have an existing policy as well. You might have a $10,000 policy and realize that you're doing pretty good. You're feeling pretty healthy. Shouldn't be any reason you don't make it another 10, 15 years. You might want to add some coverage. We'd probably recommend you don't add $25,000. Probably recommend maybe you add like $5,000 worth of coverage. It just makes it more affordable. Again, we'd rather you save that money and spend it on your family members when you're alive versus give that money to them after they're dead. Don't overinsure. Your family would appreciate the money, but I'm sure they would appreciate the time with you and the memories with you more than the money. And, you can use that money that you save to kind of create those memories. So one thing is we recommend you get first day coverage. And that's what we specialize in at Funeral Funds of America, first day coverage, low cost, same day approvals. And people will sometimes say, well, yeah, but those first day coverage plans have health questions. Yeah, but we work with enough different insurance companies that we can typically work around most health issues. The only reason we wouldn't is if it was really significant health issues, like, you had a terminal illness and you were going to pass away in the next 12 months, or if you had dementia or you were on dialysis or in a funeral home or a nursing home or a hospital, or not a funeral home, a nursing home or a hospital, then you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage. The other thing that, we get calls quite frequently where people will say, hey, we just had a family member pass away this last week. The body's down at the funeral home, and they didn't have insurance, and we don't have the money. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can pay the funeral home. And we have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that will issue a policy on a dead person. So just keep in mind, you need to get this insurance before you need it. Don't put your family in that situation. It's very difficult. One thing we don't recommend is 2-year waiting period plans. And Colonial Penn, the 995 plan, is probably the most well-known, kind of famous or infamous, depending on your opinion. And the reason is they advertise like crazy on TV, and people, 70-year-old males see those commercials, and they go, oh man, I could probably get $20 or $30 or $40 or even $50,000 worth of insurance for $9.95, right? It's kind of brilliant marketing. It's very vague. They don't actually tell you, but you can go to their website and see how much coverage that actually is. And there's other companies out there that are 2-year waiting period too, like Mutual of Omaha, the United of Omaha product, AIG, Gerber. There's a bunch of other ones. And they've done a pretty solid job at convincing people that the only types of plans out there are 2-year waiting periods. And it's absolutely not the truth. We help people with first day coverage all day long. So with the Colonial Penn plan, though, for a male age 70, how much do you get for $9.95? Well, we've got it pulled up here. You'd get 1 unit of coverage, and that would be $689. So that's not even enough for a cremation, much less a burial. Holy cow. So that $9.95 in most cases just does you absolutely no good. And it's a 2-year waiting period. Yikes. So let's take a look here. And the challenge as you get older and you want more coverage with Colonial Penn is they max out at 15 units. So 15 units, let's see what that pricing would be. So that's $149.25. The most you can get with Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan is $10,335. So if you want like $25,000 worth of coverage, Colonial Penn, they're not your company. But let's jump over and see what $25,000 worth of insurance would be with a company that would issue you that much. So we've got $25,000. We've got a 70-year-old male. And let's get the quote button. Let's jump back and look at Colonial Penn. Again, that's going to be $149 for $10,000. And you can get first day coverage right here, roughly $169. We do recommend some companies over other companies. There's some companies out there that are just a little bit more challenging. They maybe, and like, here's a good example. Trinity Life, we work with them. We can get a same day answer over the telephone with them. And there's other companies out there that, it might take weeks or maybe even a month to get an answer, depending on how the paperwork and everything's handled. So, we really believe in some cases for like 17 cents more, you're better off going with a company that's got really easy underwriting and really easy approval process. And you can actually get off the phone the same day and know that you've got a policy and this is taken care of and you don't have to worry about this anymore. So again, this is $169 versus $149. So you go, why? Wait, it's $20 more. Yeah, but this is $10,000 versus $25,000 worth of coverage. So the Colonial Penn plan in this case is so much more expensive, and it's got that 2-year waiting period, and you're going to overpay every single month for the rest of your life if you go with a company that's got a 2-year waiting period. So be cautious of that. Let's go down. Let's find a couple of other companies here maybe. And again, you'll be able to see all these companies on our quoter. Let's see. Okay, like Lincoln Heritage. They advertise quite a bit. They're a fine company. Level coverage, first day coverage. They're like $215. So the reason they're more is they offer a service where when you pass away, they'll call 2 or 3 funeral homes and kind of try to find the lowest pricing for the family. They do some other stuff too, but you pay for that service. That's $215 versus versus 170. That's going to be 30. That's going to be $45. $45 more a month. Let's just say it's $40 a month because that's easier math for my brain. So that's four times. So at $40 more a month, that's $480 every 12 months. So if you lived another 10 years, that'd be $4,800 more. Remember, I undercut that $5. So you're overpaying $5,000, after 10 years. And for a company to, make 2 or 3 phone calls and you have to pay, $5,000 more after 10 years. To us, it just seems like that's awfully expensive. Now, what we do at Funeral Funds, we've got a funeral and estate planning guide. We provide that free. And you can fill that out in advance and keep it with your insurance policy. And when you pass away, your family members are going to have everything they need to make sure that your final wishes are carried through. And it really takes the pressure off of them, and you save an awful lot of money as well. Let's see, you can see other insurance companies, even here like Lumico. We run into them once in a while. $185 versus $170, $15 more a month. Probably $160 a year-ish, just kind of rounding out the math. $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 every 10 years. You may as well keep that money in your own pocket. So if you want pricing on this, just go to our website. We've got these quotas on just about every page. In the comments section of this video, we'll also include a link to our YouTube-specific quota where you can get the bonus discounts there. That's funeralfunds.com/YouTube. You can. We'll also include in the link down in the comments links to our other videos for 70-year-old male, 5,000, 10,000, 15, 20, 25,000. And you can always call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. We're licensed in all 50 states. So whether you've got an existing policy, you want to price check it or add coverage to it, or just have some questions about it, let us know. If you're looking for a new policy or you're not quite sure about what kind of coverage amount you should get or what company would be best, just reach out to us. We'll help you understand all your options. And, whether you want to do it or not, that's totally up to you. But we'd love to help you out with that. And we look forward to meeting you someday. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, have a nice day. Bye-bye.